For a long time, I've been putting it off, and today I decided, what the heck, I'm gonna do it because it needs to be done. Of course, if you follow me, you've been following this channel for a while, you know that, I do financial videos for everybody, focus on crypto. I've always tried to, appeal to everybody, never just, a specific type of people. That's just the way that I am. However, I've been in crypto 8 years, going on 9 years now. And when you've been in something that long, you start to notice some things. And I've been noticing for a while, but for the longest time, I might have thought that it was just me. But, now with the success of my course and, hundreds of students coming through there, I'm starting to see a pattern. And now, there's no doubt of what's going on. So I'm going to talk about that today. It's, not meant to offend anybody or anything. I really hate saying like that, talking about something that affects a certain type of people should not be offensive. And if it is, then, you need to do some soul searching. So what I have discovered in my 8 years and in my, year and a half of coaching people in crypto is flat out, there's a lot of the powers that be in crypto that don't want black people in crypto, period. Some of them have made a mistake as to, blatantly even put that on one of their messages, on their actual platform. They first, of course they came out and said it was a mistake. Oh, we didn't mean to do that. That was somebody put that out as a joke, But, we know that they weren't joking. So let me just tell you, my story, then I'll share some stories of, some of my students and then talk about, why that is. So, my story kind of starts with Coinbase. I'll go back before Coinbase just so y'all have some context. When I got into crypto, I had to buy Bitcoin with this sketchy site. It kind of looked like Craigslist. It was very bad, but it was the only way to buy Bitcoin, legally. So it was like a Russian site. And so I went on there and all you needed was your email. That was it. Once you were in there with your email, then, you could buy one of the 4 crypto hosts that they had available. It was literally 4 cryptos. That's how long I've been in it. And long story short, it became apparent that, the United States was going to crack down on them. So I moved my money from this Russian exchange to Coinbase. Okay, now the whole time, my experience with the Russian exchange was great. Because, nobody had any ID or anything. It was just my email. Anytime I reached out to customer service, in fact, before I closed my account, I had to reach out to customer service because I had literally lost my password. And it was a significant amount of Bitcoin in my wallet. And I had literally lost my password. And, I had to, talk to this customer service guy or whoever he was. And he was able to help me restore my account. And literally all of my Bitcoin was still there. Like I just knew he was going to take a couple Bitcoin for help. All of my Bitcoin was still there. So I had no issues, right? So, 2 days after I moved my money from this Russian site to Coinbase, the Russian site got shut down by the US government. 2 days, right? So, my intuition, my spirit that said, hey, pull that money out of there, and put it in there, it was right? So, when I joined Coinbase, I was one of their first customers. Like Coinbase had just opened up like within a week. And I was literally one of their first customers. okay? And again, just like the Russian site, you just needed your email, and that was it. And that was one of the things that appealed to me. And it was like that for years. And so I told countless people, I know for a fact I'm responsible for thousands of people joining Coinbase. I've never used a referral link. I've never gotten anything from Coinbase. I've never, talked to anybody at the company. They've never reached out to me, anything, but I am responsible for thousands of people. And even still today, people go through Coinbase because they, hear about me or they come through my course or whatever. But that's about to change. Anyway, so it wasn't until, once again, the U.S. government started cracking down and they wanted to know, everything about everybody, that Coinbase reached out. They sent an email and they said, hey, you have to, send in your ID and do what's called KYC to keep your account. And so, I didn't have anything to hide. So I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. And you can figure out what happened the minute that I did the facial recognition and sent in my ID and all of that. Literally within a couple of days, I received a notice that I needed to close my account. Now, it had been years that I was using it with no issue. But now, all of a sudden, as soon as I show my face, I got to close my account. Now, luckily, by that time, I had other avenues, other ways of, buying crypto. That wasn't my sole, site of buying crypto. It's not even the main one that I use now. But, for some people, understandably so, that could have been enough to get out of crypto. Like, hey man, I've had this account for years, never had any issue. I've had students. In fact, I'll tell you a story. One of my oldest students that's been with me the longest said that he did a transaction on Coinbase like he normally does. And for whatever reason, his bank flagged him buying Bitcoin. Okay. So the bank was like, what you trying to do with it? Even though he had used this bank before, whatever, for whatever reason, they flagged it. Okay. He had to go to the bank and he cleared it up with the bank. Okay. But because there was some issue, just because the bank flagged it, Coinbase shut his account down. Just like that. No notice, no explanation, nothing. Of course, this was another black guy. Okay? And there are literally dozens of stories like that. I just had somebody tell me something about a different exchange yesterday, something that I recommend. And he said, hey, I just want to let you know, I was just able to get signed up for this account. It only took me 7 months. I was like, what? He's like, I sent in my information 7 months ago. They approved me, but it took 7 months. Now, again, luckily this person knows me. And so he was not reliant on this one particular exchange to do things because he came through my course and he knew that, there are several ways to safely buy cryptocurrency where you're in more control. So, he didn't miss out on anything, but, literally we've had people become millionaires in 7 months, 8 months through my course. Okay. Like, I kind of don't even like saying that because, I don't want you joining thinking that's going to happen. Probably not going to happen. I'm just saying we've had some fluke things happen. It was definitely a fluke where, people join and, they follow my lead and something pops and they become millionaires. Like, we've had that happen. So imagine if this guy was only using this one exchange, he's trying to follow my lead, trying to follow my course, and he can't get in something because of this exchange, and then it goes up so much that people become millionaire. I mean, I might have quit if that was me on the other side, all right? So, there's a serious problem. And it's not just the exchanges, it's people who've tried to develop within cryptocurrency as well. There was a guy, I wish I knew or remembered his name. I used to know his name. I don't anymore. He created a crypto. It was called PPT. I think it was called Populist Tech. Black dude. Everything was put together well. The idea was solid. Everything was solid. It never really blew up like the other cryptocurrencies because he was black. But things really, took a turn for the worse when, somebody had found out that, he had spent some time in prison, some years ago, nonviolent crime, whatever. And once word got out, that, he had been in prison, then, people just kind of exited and, drove the price down and all of that, which, if they treated everybody like that, then, okay, I can understand not wanting to trust somebody. But I have covered people on this channel, and I'm going to just go ahead and say it. The dude that runs Wonderland Time, he's been in jail for financial crimes. This dude didn't go to jail for financial crimes. He's been in jail for financial crimes. People found out that he went to jail. That didn't stop him from buying the project. And what happened to that project? Of course, it lost 99% of its value, just like I predicted. But we don't see the same emphasis placed on other people, with their background as we do with black men, right? There's over 20,000 cryptocurrencies. Do you honestly think out of 20,000 cryptocurrencies that none of these people have ever spent time in jail? None of these people ever had a drug conviction or something like that? Heck, we don't know anything about Satoshi. We know absolutely nothing about Satoshi. Could be, the biggest drug dealer in the history of drugs. We don't know, right? And it was smart on his part to remain anonymous, his or her part or their part to remain anonymous. But yet, as soon as a black man shows his face, there's a problem, okay? I'll tell you about another guy. See, we got, it's too much evidence for you to refute this, okay? There's a guy named Reggie Middleton. I want you to look him up. Reggie Middleton, okay? People credit different companies, I won't get into specifics, of being the first to, create a DeFi project. And literally Reggie Middleton has video evidence. He has a patent, documents, all of that, proving that he was the first one to create a DeFi type of project or come up with the idea of decentralized finance. A black dude. He literally he has the patents for it. Regardless of that, of course, he started his own project. And, at the time, I don't know if this is true now, but, you go on these crypto websites and there are literally crap coins everywhere. Somebody made a Will Smith coin. Like, when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, literally the next day it was a Will Smith coin. Right, all zombie coins and cowboy coins and all kind of, stupid stuff, right? Well, I have never ever seen a warning about any type of project, you know what I'm saying, outside of a general crypto warning. Yet when Reggie Middleton put his project on various sites, there was literally, I've never ever seen this, a red bar running through the entire site just on this project's page, talking about, the SEC is investigating this. Please be careful. This person has been linked to this, and that. So never seen that for anything. All of the rug pulls, all of the scams. I have never seen a website try to warn people about a token. Why do you think that was? It's just a coincidence that all this stuff is only happening to black people, right? It's just a coincidence that all this stuff is happening to black men. Okay, so, if you out there, if you're a black man or you're in support of black men, what do? And the bottom line is this: you have to ask yourself, why don't they want you to be a part of this? They don't want you to be a part of it because they know it has a chance to take you out of the system that they created for you to fall in. Like my story, growing up in the hood, single parent home, same story that a lot of people have, right? There was no way that I was supposed to become a millionaire. They're like, how do you go from welfare, food stamps, stuff like that, to becoming a millionaire? Nobody gave me any money. I didn't get any loans from anybody. They don't give us free money, right? But yet, starting with $1,500, 8 years ago, $1,500, I'm now sitting before you, not just a millionaire, but I'm in the top 1% of people on earth, starting with $1,500. You understand how crazy that is? That was never designed to happen. And I'm so good at it, I've been able to duplicate the process, and now other people who are following me are becoming millionaires. Like that's how you know it works, right? So that's why they don't want us to be a part of it. Because if you break the system, there's no telling now, what you can do. Right? So now, you just watch. Now I'm going to show up in arenas that I was never designed to show up in. And now it's going to be like, okay, well, are we going to let him join this club? Right? It's my dream to buy an NBA team. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. That's my dream. I'm not in position yet, but I know I will be. Right? But being in position and being allowed is two different things. I might have the money to buy the team. Are they going to let me buy the team? Because I was never designed to be in that position. So here's my message to you, black men, and anybody else. Anything somebody's trying to keep you away from, that's what you need to be focused on. And what's so interesting to me is, despite stories like mine, despite other people, we're still underrepresented. Take a look at pictures of the Miami Bitcoin conference. You hardly see any black people, period. And I just thought that was a shame. It's a few of us here and there, right? This is probably not the first time that you're watching my video or you've seen other videos. There are other black men, Ian Bellina and others who have become millionaires in the same space. Why we don't have every single person, forget black men, why every single person is not trying to get into crypto after seeing stuff like that, I don't know, right? But especially black men, when we've been disenfranchised and everything we try to do, people try to shut us down, right? Like, you should be like, how is it that these brothers are making money? Let me get into this. Instead, a lot of times I talk to black dudes, I get resistance. There are more others in my program, non-black men. There are more students that don't look like me than students that look like me. I just think that's, I think it's interesting, but I think it's kind of crazy, right? It should literally be a line out the door, right? So hopefully this message, sparks something in you, whether you come through me or whatever. Don't try to go out at this alone because you're going to lose money. I'm going to tell you, you need a mentor. And, to me, it just makes more sense to have a mentor that has proven their success and comes from a similar type of background, right? A lot of these people that you're watching, they started with 6 figures or they started with 50,000 or what have you. It's much easier to make $1 million with 50 or 60,000 than for 1,500. Okay, that's up to you. I'm just encouraging you to get involved, and not just from an investment standpoint. Learn about coding, learn about the technology, learn about what a blockchain is, right? Start studying, study NFTs and different things like that. you know, try to develop some real use cases for NFTs and not just stupid art and stuff like that, right? So we can really be a part of this next, you know, industrial revolution called the blockchain. It's your boy BSG. I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next video.